So my background is within the printing industry. I used to own and run a print business, and one of the biggest problems that I encountered was for every order that we take, we now have this huge admin process where we've got to manually check the files to see if they're suitable. Most of the time they're not. We wanted to provide a magical experience, so we were spending so much time just finding and fixing artwork issues that we weren't able to invest that time into growing the business in sales and marketing. And it became a burden. We were taking on new orders, but every order that we received, now we had a ton of work that we had to do to make sure it would result in a really high quality end product. There are some great automation tools that do exist, but they're really aiming at the biggest printing companies in the world that have, sufficient resources and capital and technical expertise to create these bespoke workflows. Whereas we wanted to create something so simple that anybody can use it. It doesn't matter if they have any pre-press expertise or knowledge. Anybody in your company can manage this process and make sure you get the best quality artwork from your customers. Everybody thinks they're a graphic designer nowadays because they can go into Canva and create something that looks pretty, but they don't understand the print mechanics and how something translates from a digital screen into physical media. So increasingly, all the artwork that printing companies are getting from the customers is either completely unusable or would result in a poor quality end product. So Artworker comes in to help manage that process. When the customers upload the artwork, it will automatically check it for issues. And it's the same common things. Is the size correct? Has it got bleed? Is the color profile okay? What's the image resolution like? If it does find any issues, it will then educate your customer on what they mean and give them some options on how to proceed. But soon you'll also be able to automatically fix your customer's artwork. So it's missing bleed, it'll automatically add bleed and then give your customer a proof, which they can say, yeah, I'm happy with that, send it to production, or no, and what are my options available? So the idea is it can go from your customer uploading their artwork to production without any manual intervention. That's the big problem that we're looking to solve. Currently, we have tons of great tools designed specifically for printing companies, from being able to send proofs for approval in a really efficient way to make sure you're not having to reprint jobs because they wasn't sure they were supposed to check some things. It supports overprint preview. You can show bleed, trim, and safety zone visualizations. It's a really slick, efficient process. So far, over 500 printing companies in the UK have signed up to Artworker. We want to be product agnostic, so whether it's commercial printing, wide format, stickers, packaging, promotional merchandise and garments, we want to make the approvals processes as efficient as possible. AI is going to be a massive help in making sure that you can really streamline this process, and that could be anything from spell checking the files to make sure it's good and recommending suggestions and how can I improve this, to being able to upscale images and recreate them using AI at a high resolution, whereas that's something before that has been a really big challenge, because once the image has been set and it's a certain resolution, you can try and upscale it, but you're never really going to get the best quality. So being able to leverage AI to recreate those images at a high resolution, I think is going to have a huge impact. I think increasingly more tools are going to come out that remove friction and make it easier for people to design the artwork, and that's brilliant. That means anyone can now design their own artwork, and there's a ton of templates that make it really simple, and you're going to get a good quality end product. But customers aren't educated on the print mechanics, so you can have the best quality Canva file and they might save it as a low quality JPEG or export it in the wrong format. So I think there is still going to be an education hurdle, but more than anything, I think the onus should be on the printing company to make that process as streamlined as possible, because you can't control how your customers are going to create the artwork or what shape the files are going to come in. You can only control your own process and how efficient that is and the experience that you give your customers. It's been incredible. We've had a great response, spoken to a lot of printing companies, both existing customers that have told us how they're using it and got really positive feedback and things that they'd like to see, to new customers, educating them on what we do who haven't heard of us before. We brought in a David Brent impersonator. We had the idea in the office, being big fans of the UK Office series, and with David Brent being in the paper industry, we thought it'd be quite fun to bring him along to the print show, let him interact with everybody. He's been causing a little bit of chaos at times, and I think cringing people out, but that's the whole point, and people have enjoyed it. They've had selfies with him, and yeah, I think it's just a fun thing to do to stand out a little bit.